Some people think being unbothered is something you're born with, like confidence or charisma or a really good hair day. But here's what they don't tell you. Being unbothered is not a personality trait. It's a learned skill, a quiet power, a choice you make over and over again, especially when everything in you wants to react. It's not about being cold. It's not about pretending you don't care. It's about training your nervous system to not over-identify with every trigger, every judgment, every wave of chaos around you. And in this world, that's a radical act of self-protection. Let's talk about it. We live in an outrage culture. You're expected to have an opinion on everything, to defend your choices, to correct every misunderstanding, to clap back, to engage, to react. And when you don't, when you choose to stay silent or still, they call you detached or passive or cold. But here's what I've learned. Not everything needs your energy. Not every insult deserves your attendance. Not every situation is worthy of your emotional investment. Being unbothered isn't about apathy. It's about discernment, the art of knowing when your peace matters more than being right. Being unbothered is hard at first because most of us grew up being trained to over-explain, to over-defend, to over-apologize. You get a text that sounds cold, your heart races, someone questions your success, you spiral, a stranger comments on your looks, your self-worth stumbles. Why? Because we've been taught to tie our value to how we're perceived. So when someone doesn't see us the way we want to be seen, it feels like an emergency. But here's the truth. Someone else's opinion of you is not your emergency. Let me say that again. For the people in the back, someone else's opinion of you is not your emergency. Being unbothered is a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it gets. You begin by noticing your triggers, that urge to correct someone, that need to defend yourself in a comment section, that spiral of what did they mean by that. And instead of feeding it, you pause, you breathe, you say, that's not mine to carry. You walk away, not because you're weak, but because you're wise. You realize not every battle is yours. Not every opinion needs a counterpoint. Not every moment requires a performance. Sometimes your silence is your boundary. Sometimes your stillness is your power. Here's a simple truth. Being unbothered doesn't mean you feel nothing. It means you feel and choose not to live there. It's emotional maturity. It's the ability to say, I don't have to make everything about me. Sometimes people lash out because they're hurting. Sometimes they criticize because they're insecure. Sometimes they misunderstand because they're projecting. And your job is not to absorb it. Your job is to stay rooted in who you are, even when the world tries to shake you. Being unbothered also means letting go of the addiction to being liked. That's a tough one. Because for so long we were taught that being liked was safety. That if you were agreeable enough, pretty enough, soft enough, smart enough, people would approve of you. But the cost of that approval, your authenticity, your peace, your boundaries. And so the real skill, being okay with not being liked, not in a spiteful way, but in a peaceful, liberating way. You'll be too much for some, too quiet for others, too bold, too soft, too this, too that. Let them misunderstand you. Let them talk. You don't owe them a version of yourself that makes them comfortable. There's a quiet joy in realizing you're not as reactive as you used to be. That things which once stole your whole afternoon now barely touch you. That you no longer feel the need to win arguments with people who are committed to misunderstanding you. That you can witness drama and not enter the stage. That's emotional evolution. And it's not loud. It doesn't need to prove itself. It just is. Like a tree that doesn't flinch in the wind. It just sways, stays grounded, and keeps growing. To become unbothered, you have to unlearn the idea that reacting is power. It's not. Power is choice. The choice to walk away. The choice to pause before replying. The choice to smile instead of snapping. The choice to protect your energy like it's sacred because it is. And let's be honest, being bothered all the time is exhausting. We weren't meant to carry every opinion, every slight, every indirect comment like it's a personal mission. There is more to your life than constantly trying to prove you're good, worthy, smart, successful, lovable. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. So how do you start? You start by choosing you. You start by noticing when your body tenses, when your heart races, when your ego wants to jump in, and choosing stillness instead. You remind yourself that peace is your default. Drama is not your identity. You were not born to be a sponge for everyone else's projections. You were born to be solid. Soft, yes, but solid. Being unbothered doesn't mean you never care. It means you've learned to care selectively, to offer your energy like it's gold, to respond with intention, not emotion, to rise above without looking down. Being unbothered is a learned skill, one breath at a time, one pause at a time. One quiet decision to choose peace over performance. You can learn it, you can practice it, and you can master it, not for anyone else, but for yourself. Because you deserve a life that feels spacious, a mind that feels still, a heart that doesn't flinch every time someone else forgets your worth. So the next time you feel triggered, don't ask, how do I fix this? Ask, is this worth my peace? And trust your answer.